Hey guys, Teddy here, Plain and Simple, back at you with another review. Something interesting. But I don't know why it took me this long to get my hands on one of these. Now that I've gotten one, I regret not getting it sooner. Mora Bushcraft Black. We're going to talk about this. And as always, bit of an interesting one. This is also one of those things that took me forever to try, mainly because it seemed a little bit gimmicky to me. Is that even a word? Gimmicky? Hell with it. It's a word now. I coined the phrase, gimmicky. Now, this is formerly known as the Shaggy. Well, in Canada, here, they still call it the Shaggy. In the States, I believe you call this, I believe it's called the Persian King Tiger Maduro. It's by Gran Habano. But in Canada, we call it the Shaggy Dwarf Maduro. Okay. I didn't name it, okay? So don't get mad at me. But anyway, let's talk about the cigar a bit. You're going to notice a cigar because it has a nice dark wrapper, but what gives it away, it looks like a stick of dynamite. It has a Connecticut tip. Just a Connecticut tip. Look it up. The Gran Habano Persian King Tiger Maduro. Wow, that's a mouthful. That's what she said. No. Anyway, this is a Gordo. It's a 6x60, medium to full. It's from Honduras. It's a Nicaraguan Maduro wrapper, a Nicaraguan and Honduran long filler. The blender, it's George Rico. Some great blends. Another cigar that I have, I'm gonna do on another review. You'll love that one. Flavor profile, well, what you expect with any typical Maduro. You're gonna get your coffee. You're gonna get your espresso. Also has a bit of nuttiness to it, almost like I want to say walnuts, but a nice creamy finish. You really pick up that nuttiness with the retrohale. Awesome smoke. And I believe in the States, don't quote me, I'm not sure, it's about the $5 range, give or take. So awesome cigar, awesome value. This makes a great filler for your humidor. Speaking of humidors, I'm gonna do a video about humidors, okay? Because probably like a lot of you guys, I'm frustrated with humidors. I'm tired of constantly seasoning my humidor. I found a whole way around that. Inexpensive, way better. So I'm gonna do a specialty video about that one for you guys. All right, now let's get into this knife here. Pardon me. One of those days I need my coffee. Okay, let's get into this. More Bushcraft Black. Overall length of 9.15 inch. Thickness here, as you can see right there, 3.2 millimeter. Handle length, 4.3 inches. High carbon steel. Sorry, I don't know what it is today. High carbon steel, rubberized handle. I believe there's a plastic insert with a rubberized coating over it. 5.72 ounces, great weight. Rockwell hardness between 59 and 60. Scandi grind. Clip point. As with your typical Moras, this is not full tang. It's about a 3/4 tang, which means it comes to right about there. Okay. Made in Sweden. And it comes with a polymer sheath, drainage hole at the bottom. this ribbing at the side so you can push off. This has a dangler. I put the dangler on it, but it does come with a standard belt loop that can easily be removed. Okay, just slide it in there, clip it on. So, really nice design sheath. Retention, really good. It's not going to come out on you. So, overall, extremely ergonomic handle. Really comfortable. One thing that I loved about this is the 90-degree spine. This has a great 90-degree spine. See if I can show you here. I'll try, but you can easily get some scrapings on this with that. So it's a great 90-degree spine. I like the black coating on it. Usually black coatings, in most cases, is a dead giveaway that something is carbon steel. So carbon steel, you're really going to want to take care of this. All right, you want to take care of this blade. Now, the weight, I like the weight. The balance is great. The balance is right where that finger well is, right here, by this little bit of a guard. So super comfortable. It's not going to feel overly heavy in your hands. The handle, there's no real palm swell. There's no palm swell here, as you can see. Nicely contoured handle. The only bit of a swell would be right towards this area, right here. So when it does fit in your hands, it's great. It just seats in your hands like it was meant to be there. Even with this peak right here, right where this finger well or this finger groove is here, this is not aggressive on your hands at all. I can sit right on that and squeeze down, and I'm not getting any hot spots. It's not creating any fatigue. This upswept back, you can, well, you're not going to chop with it. It's not a chopper, but you can do some delimbing with it. Bit of a jimping, rubberized jimping, which is nice. It's nice, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary, to be honest. But it's nice to have. I like this guard here. Okay, I like this guard for a small bushcrafty kind of knife. It's great to have a little bit of a guard. Now, being a Scandi grind, you're not going to do a lot of heavy batoning and stuff with this. It's not what it's designed for. Okay, that's not its intended use. So I don't recommend batoning with a Scandi knife. Now you can, but take into account that that kind of heavy abuse, pardon me, will or can roll your edges. Sorry, I forgot my lighter, so I gotta make do here. All right, this is how we do. This is how we light our cigars at Blade and Simple. This is how we do. Sorry, forgot my lighter. So you're not going to want to do heavy batoning with it. You can baton with this. I would suggest kindling. Don't baton with anything that's longer than your knife. Okay. In my opinion, a good rule of thumb, I don't want to baton anything more than 60 to 70% of my blade. Okay. So that is perfect. That is perfect. Anything larger than this, it's a little too much. So ideally, you want to keep it about the size of your wrist, if not smaller. Kindling, stuff like that, that's where this is. Bushcraft tasks, notching, making traps, making a fishing spear, anything along those lines, tent pegs. That's what this was designed for. General purpose camp tasks. Cutting cordage, filleting your fish, general purpose uses. That's what this was designed for. So don't abuse your knives. As for that whole argument, don't ever baton with your knife. There's no need to. Well, we can talk about that forever, but there are situations where you have to baton. People who say you don't ever have to baton, like Lindsay Thompson. There's never a situation where you have to baton. Simply use your knife to create a wedge. Cut a divot, cut a channel into the material you're trying to baton, and hammer that wedge in between to split it. Well, guess what? In a survival situation, it's all about conservation. You want to conserve food, water, and energy. It takes more work for me to take my knife and cut a wedge, fashion a wedge. Then take the material that I want to cut. Hopefully it's been cut so it's square. Then put the wedge in, cut a channel, put the wedge in, and pound the snot out of that thing to split the wood. And then repeat, and then repeat. A little bit too much work. There are reasons why companies make full-tang knives and three-quarter tang knives. Knives like this thick and this durable, were designed to baton. Were designed to process wood. That was its intended use. You even go back to the 1800s. There were actually, believe there were pamphlets that were designed. It was sent out to sell products, knives, etc. That would have a picture of a knife batoning through a piece of wood, saying you can process a lot of wood with this knife. So there are uses for this. Okay, there are uses for batoning. So saying there is no use for it, it's pointless. You're going to create a hearthboard, you're going to need to baton. You're going to kindling. It's easier to baton. It's always easier to baton. You're going to say, well, it's abusing your knives. Not if you carry a field sharpening kit. You're going to resharpen it. Well, preserve your knife. Take care of it. Sharpen it. Take care of it. Don't have to worry about it. So people who say you don't need to baton, you're full of you know what. So let's get into this thing. Now, common uses for this thing, you're going to be cutting cordage. This knife out of the box, super sharp. No problems with it. Super sharp. So let's see how good it is at cutting cordage. Okay? No problem. None. So let's double this up. Okay? If I can here. Let's double that up. Really easy. Like butter. Like it wasn't even there. Okay? Paracord. I'm going to tie up a tent. Whatever you need paracord for. Get a little bit kinky on the weekend. No problem. Here's one that I've seen a lot of that I personally think it's really stupid. Cutting zip ties. Where would you ever be in a situation where you're going to have to use a knife to cut a zip tie? Okay, I just don't see it, but hey, let's see. No big deal. Okay, and the edge, great. No rolling, no chipping, no marring, no nothing. Batoning. So let's pan this down a bit so you guys can see. Let's do a bit of batoning with this thing. Okay, let's do some kindling. Time to break out Batonicus Maximus. A little bit of batoning. Okay. See? Do some kindling. Wow, I like this Scandi grind. And no rolling, no chipping, no nothing. And this material here has been sitting in my basement in the corner for 2 years. So this thing is super hard, way dried out. So great material. Kindling, easy. What about doing like a tent peg? Let's see what we can do here. Okay. And I'm not pushing hard. I'm letting the blade do the work for me. Just sliding it. Okay. Just sliding it there. Let's use our baton to piss off some of those people out there that think batoning suck. Look away right now. There's your tent peg. And no rolling, no chipping. Still feels really sharp. So great. Let's try that 9-degree spine. It might be hard on this wood because it's so dried out, but let's see. can get some fuzz on this. So you can see right there, you can get some fuzz on there. It's great if you're hiking in an area that has a lot of cedar. You can use this, scrape it along the bark and create some nice tinder. What about feather sticking? Some feather sticking with this. You know, it kind of sucks trying to feather stick on such a small piece of wood, but let's do it anyway. You never know, you might need a little tinder, huh? This edge is super sharp. I love Shaggy grinds for tasks like this. Love Shaggy grinds for tasks like that. Super easy. Yeah, still really sharp. Mora does an amazing job. Let me just adjust this here. Mora, in my opinion, they do an amazing job with their heat treat. Amazing job with the heat treat. Just a scrap piece of wood. You can see this thing bites in deep. And look at that, okay? I can probably cut right through this if I tried. So, love the Shaggy grind. For your notching, for your trapping, for your trigger making, for you want to make a spoon, you can do that. So Mora's great option. Another thing, well, this is a love-hate with a lot of people. This is a love-hate situation with a lot of people. The sheath. Some people hate this, some people love it. Personally, I love it. It's simplistic, super lightweight, good retention. You don't need Kydex. You don't need expensive materials. You don't need super high-end sheaths. You need something that's functional, that does the job. And this does it every time, okay? It's cheap. It does the job. It's lightweight. This, to me, is a perfect bushcraft knife. This is the kind of knife I will take with me. And normally, I always have a Mora on me. They're super sharp. They're easy to tune up. Great value for money. And if you lose this, you're out 50 bucks. As opposed to losing a $200 or $300 custom-made bushcraft knife. You lose that, you're going to be crying. So this, definitely an option. If you're one of those people that are now getting into bushcrafting, you're now getting into the hiking, camping, packing, you know, I would highly recommend getting yourself a Mora. Getting one of these Mora bushcraft blacks. You will not be disappointed. But take into account, it is carbon steel. You will have to take care of it. You will have to oil it. You're going to have to maintain it. Sorry, gotta fix the camera for a bit. So you're going to have to maintain it. You're going to have to take care of it. So you take care of this, it'll last you a lifetime. Cost. Let's look at cost. Where I am in Canada, this is, I believe, $70. If I'm not mistaken. In the States, I believe you guys can find this for $50. So you can find this for the $50 range, give or take. Check out Knife Center, Blade HQ, Amazon. Great spot to find this. Definitely must get. So, ratings. How do I rate this knife? Well, handle design, 5 out of 5. Great ergonomics, even with my extra large size hands, okay? Great ergonomics. Amazing. Very few knives I can hold in my particular hand and feel comfortable because of the size of my hands. But this, super comfortable. Blade quality. Great quality. This high carbon steel, amazing edge retention. No complaints with this whatsoever. Construction, flawless. There's not a lot of, through the molding process, you don't have a lot of flashing or anything. Really well done. Great manufacturing. Package. Love the modular design. Gives you your options of how you want to carry. Do you want a standard clip or you prefer a dangler? I love the modular design. The sheath, it is simplistic. It is lightweight. It's a polymer sheath, but it has good retention, everything you need, drainage hole, and it's lightweight. So it's a bonus. So for me, as a package, what do I give this? Even with this sheath, which some people might hate, I have to give this a 5 out of 5. And I know it probably just shocked a lot of you, but this, in my opinion, is a 5 out of 5 blade. One word: perfection. That's it. Perfection. So Mora, beautiful job. Amazing job. So all you guys out there, sorry it's been a little while, but I'll be back. I'm gonna do an EDC video. I'm gonna bring out some of my top EDC picks. I'm also gonna do a big blade extravaganza, let's put it. I'm gonna compare a few big blades and help you guys decide what you need to look for when choosing a chopper. So I'm gonna get that to you. So till next time, guys, remember, keep it sharp, keep it oiled, keep it in a sheath. You take care of your blades, guys. They'll be there when you need them. So till next time, I'm Teddy. You're watching Blade and Simple.